What up? It's you. What up, gamers? What do they say at the beginning of videos, Zach?
What's up, interesting nerd nation? It's time for I don't know how to continue the bit.
Oh,
I've
well,
got
I hope you're
I've
ready for
I've
another
never
low
actually
effort
watched
pile of nonsense.
I've never actually watched Drama Alert. I can only make fun of most of the intro.
Uh,
I think people will be proud to know I haven't watched Drama Alert. And I'm also proud of this fact.
man, I hope you like memes and copyrighted music because that's what you're coming here for.
Yeah, you are still if you watch the other channel. Actually, this might come out first, which is even better.
Yeah.
Uh, Continuing from our last video that you may or may not have seen yet, Tom is recording from a airport.
Coming to you live from the Charlotte Douglas International Airport.
What gate are you sitting underneath?
I am at the way station between the E concourse and the D concourse.
Excellent. So if you ever want to like visit interesting nerd landmarks, that's now on the list as well as I did join a stream a couple days ago from Suburban Station in Philadelphia. So, uh, if you want to go on an interesting nerd quest, those are two locations that you have to go to.
Yeah,
Uh,
when they're like memorials for us, when people are like taking trips following in our footsteps, you too can sit here underneath these way too loud speakers at 1:15 in the morning.
yes.
Sure, it's a good thing we can't monetize on the second channel.
Yeah, yeah. Don't need to worry about that.
Zach, this is something we've talked about doing for a long time.
So I guess I'll give the backstory here. This
Yeah.
is a brainchild of mine that comes from I would try and give myself like goals to accomplish in a new year, and then eventually, like I said, I need to write them down and make them into a list. I need to give myself more than one or two things so that if I fail one, I can have others to fall back on. I can at least say, here are things I wanted to do, and I progressed X amount through a year. Uh, and then it came to me that like I was checking them only very infrequently, and it would help if I had friends who would check in. But it would be kind of like selfish to be like, "Hey, you are the referee of my life. You need to check in and make sure I'm doing good on these metrics." So then I said, "What if it was a game? What if it was a competition, even? And what if at the end of this ordeal, the winner got a trophy?" And that led to competitive New Year's resolutions, or resolution bowl, as we like to call it, where you pick 12 things you want to accomplish in a year. Everybody assigns points to it. Like I know, I think that's worth X amount of points, and whoever has the points, most points at the end, wins. And we try and keep points within a range that everybody like knows and understands, so it's not like anything's exorbitantly like overscored or underscored. And then we let people live their life and try to accomplish things they truly believe that they want to do, that they want to say they've done in their life or did this year, et cetera, et cetera. So that even if you don't win, a consequence of losing was you made your life better.
Yeah, it's in this truly extraordinary way. You have managed to turn self improvement into a competitive sport. And
Yes.
this is one of those ideas that is so good that it makes me angry sometimes to think about how good of an idea it is. It's extraordinary. And like I am happy that you came up with it. I'm happy we're putting it on the record because it's so phenomenal. But I'm also mad that I didn't think about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Fundamentally, it's not that complicated of an idea.
Yeah.
We've added all sorts of like specific like rules to it, but the like broad strokes idea of make self improvement into a competitive game
Yeah.
is
You're like
it's
that.
almost
You're like that. You're like the guy who made Wordle. Right, you're like, on the one hand, I'm happy with you because you sold it for like $250 million, but on the other hand, I'm like, fuck, I could have made that.
yeah.
Fuck.
Wordle did not take a whole ton of planning or programming. And that guy doesn't need to make another game for the rest of his life if he doesn't want to.
Yeah. uh, So that is not the end of the story, right? Fast forward a little while. In the first like competitive iteration, you, I, and 4 friends played in it together. And at the end of the year, we I was rattle off a couple of your resolutions from that year.
Hey, let me hit the backlog because the wonderful thing is we have a server with the
Yeah,
entire history of it,
like
so
uh,
I can go back to the original 2020 resolution bowl.
I,
But we did not know when we were making it that there would be a global pandemic. So
yeah. Some of them didn't pan out, so to speak. One of mine,
uh,
I remember, was be capable of running 4 miles without stopping. One of mine was run 10 con events, and oh boy, did that not work out in the year of our Lord 2020.
no, one of mine was enter and successfully place in the SCP 5000 contest. You're filling that 2 articles later in the year. I did enter and place in the SCP 5000 contest. I wasn't like super close to the top, but it's a pretty good article.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
um,
Which one's that one? Oh, don't tell me. No. Tell me after.
yeah, I leave it as a task for people to find it. Let's see. Go
Yeah,
on a mini
there's a
vacation.
standing bounty on your SCP articles.
Indie Sketcher, she has
I forgot about
successfully
that.
found my account. So Indie Sketcher knows my SCP
Yeah,
articles.
ND Sketcher has gold. If anyone wants silver, it's still out there.
Yes, I'm sure people have found me besides Indie Sketcher, but nobody's messaged me like, "Hey, is this you?" Besides Indie Sketcher.
Yeah, it doesn't count if you don't turn in the prize.
It's true. That's
Right,
true.
you don't get to come and say 2 years later that like, oh, I was the second person, I was actually the first person to find it, and like, you didn't put it on the record. Get out of my face.
Yep. Here's one that got busted. Go on a mini vacation, minimum 2 full days out of state, somewhere I don't normally visit. Haha, pandemic.
Nope.
And I learned to play Sparky's remix of Strobe on bass. It's a little slower than like I think it's played in the song, but I learned what was called the impossible bass line,
Yes,
and that was
and
the whole point.
you debuted that shit at the party at the end of the year. You debuted it on a YouTube video, and it was unambiguously the impossible baseline.
Yes, I had everybody beforehand. As you're gonna score this video correct, or you're gonna score this challenge correctly. You need to listen to the song and know what the bass line sounds like, so you can tell whether I play it. And everybody knew that song. It's actually a really good song, remix of Strobe. It's like a disco-y version of it. And everybody said unambiguously you played the impossible bass line.
Yeah, man.
And I
It
got
even
a lot of points.
you even had a little bit of your own sauce on it. It came out a little funky. It was pretty good.
That's how I play bass. And actually, as I'm learning as I make more music in FL Studio, I might just have some funk inside my soul. I did learn all the most music I like. When I learned to play bass, and I learned a lot of my music. I feel like comes from learning to play bass. Uh, I learned from somebody who was in a funk band, so I think that's just always been a part of me as a musician.
What were some of my other ones that year?
But
Obviously,
I got to
I didn't run con events because I remember the day that I was sitting at work downtown when we got the news that this pandemic thing might actually be a problem.
I I remember us a fun story. We were working the same job at that point. I cannot tell what it
Yeah.
was, but we would meet up in like actually it was one very specific Spot Coffee that we
Yep.
Spot Coffee is a Buffalo thing,
Yep.
uh, and they just unionized too, so we were like supporting the hell out of them, and we like a couple of our like a group of our friends, me, you, Zeb, I think a couple others, had all said, like this year we're all gonna make a trip to Japan,
Yeah.
and then you said one of the most ominous things ever. Zach, I don't think we can do a trip to Japan this year. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a disease that's in China. So I think East Asia is just probably going to be off limits to travel this year. And well, you
Yeah.
are correct. I think it was an understatement still.
Yes, somehow that was an understatement. Now, the following year was somewhat more successful all around. We had more players, a wider spread, more ambitious goals, and more arguing in the semantics in the comments. Uh,
Yes.
I, and this is not a joke, I ran a half marathon and free swam the Niagara River that year. 4 points, and this is something that I really like, that I am extremely fond of saying. Right, um, I absolutely, under no circumstances, will I engage in self improvement for my own benefit, right? I'm not going to eat healthier because it will facilitate a longer life and give me more energy during the day. But I will eat healthier to beat Zeb. To beat Zeb
Yeah.
at anything. To beat you
Yeah.
at anything, I will do anything.
That year was the year I went for like I'm going to try to max out all the things I think like I am capable of achieving that are worth a lot of points, and I did. I did several of them. Like I said, release 6 albums worth of music, which I did on my meme mashup channel primarily. One of them was a like Discord only release of an album that I still haven't fully published, which is something we'll revisit in this video.
Yeah, we will.
And I think I also did. Let's see. That was. Oh, that was the year that I was trying to meet sitting president of the United States of America, Joe Biden.
Yes, and there's some wonderful rules lawyering about that one.
Well, yeah, because there's the argument of what if I met a president of the United States who happened to be sitting down, and then I met an unrelated person whose name also just happened to be Joe Biden.
Yes,
Because like if Jimmy Carter had done a book tour, which he didn't because he was old and there was still a pandemic, and you know that wasn't going to happen. That could have happened. Or what if I went to go see the band, the Presidents of the United States of America, and they did like an acoustic set where they were sitting down?
yeah,
And then
and
I met an unrelated person named Joe
then
Biden.
you need to hunt down an unrelated person named Joe Biden. Now you may say, Zach, who would do that kind of thing? But I will remind you that that bit has already been relevant in other of our videos.
That's true.
That's the
That's
same bit that we did to Random Internet Guy.
who would possibly put this much effort into something so trivial?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
The answer is us.
Random Internet Guy currently has a book signed by Matt Smith. No, not that one.
Yeah, and he was also there. He was also there for when I falsified evidence of things that happened in Game of Thrones, which he had no way of knowing because he didn't watch that far.
I'm still angry about that.
That's classic.
Zach, I want to thank.
Tom, can I tell my my more recent story that is relevant to that last resolution, or should I not? It is work related.
I leave that up to you.
Sure. I will say that part of my job is talking to people in public and occasionally getting them to sign things, which is true of a lot of jobs. And I was not paying attention to who signed because I was just having a good day getting a lot of people to sign a piece of paper. And I was in Philly because there's a lot of humans there, which means more people. And I came back to the office the day afterwards, and somebody said, "Zach, did you know that you got that you talked to the granddaughter of the president?" And I just said, "What? Excuse what? Huh?" In, and then I looked it up, and I found that like apparently she has like a TikTok and everything. I've 100% met this woman. I have 100% like I remember walking up to this person and talking to her and chatting about why I was out and what I was like, collecting signatures for. and it didn't even dawn on me. And the funny thing is, I didn't tell you this stuff. She mentioned having at one point lived in Delaware, and I had that sort of like,
And it didn't click.
no. The worst part, Tom, is it clicked. The worst part for me is that I was like, oh, the president's from Delaware, and I thought about making a joke about it. And you know what I didn't do?
No!
I was
You
I was
gotta
standing
crack
in
that
front.
joke open!
If I had made the related to the president joke, the answer would have been actually yes, he's my grandfather. And I thought about making that exact joke. I thought about, oh, are you like related to just because haha, you're from Delaware, are you a Biden? The answer was yes, as it turns out,
Damn. Damn, that
and I did not
sucks.
make that joke.
All right. Collapse sidebar. Zach, I want to thank you. Because this ridiculous, somewhat memey, but also fucking brilliant endeavor that you have manufactured has caused more good in my life than almost any other single endeavor. Um,
Oh, thank you. I can
uh,
say it's been similar for me, although I did make it for myself. So
I am a healthier person, and a more knowledgeable person, and a more accomplished person because of you. Uh, Zach, I wrote a book.
you have a book.
I have a book that is written. I mean, I don't know that
Not
it's a
public.
very
It
good
is
book.
written.
I don't know. It is certainly not it is certainly not publication ready. But I wrote it. It's done. It's 270 fucking pages because basically I said that I would do this, and you bet me that I couldn't.
Yep. I said that's worth X amount of points, and you
Yeah.
said all right.
All right.
Because the points are supposed to be like I should explain how like point scaling works. We're not going to score each other in this video, I don't think, or maybe we will. Who
Why
knows?
not? Why not?
Yeah, why not? Point scaling is basically like we usually do like 100 is the low end. 100 is something very trivial. It would be if you said I'm going to give myself a year to do this and you didn't do it, I would be shocked. I have seen people put 50s for things that were like way too low or way too easy, but we usually talk people out of using those as resolutions. But like a 50 or a 100 is like I don't know. Go for a walk once. Uh, for me and Tom, that's quite easy because we go for walks all the time. Uh, I suppose, like if like somebody like had recently like been attacked by like somebody with a chainsaw, that might be difficult. But
uh,
um,
and 1,000. 1,000 is the hardest things, right? There's a soft cap at 1,000.
well, there's a sort of. I think 1,000 was it's incredibly hard. We would say 1,100 if we believed that you were not in a position to feasibly do it
Yeah,
at all. And we had 1,200 if we thought nobody could feasibly do
yeah,
this in a year.
yeah. We've
Like,
had we've had a good handful of 1,100s, a couple of 1,200s, and like one 1,250 because people just dunking on you because they think it's impossible.
yeah, an 1,100 might be like somebody with a ton of more resources and time could do it. Like this is like and if it was a running time, an Olympic athlete could get up to this in a year. You can't. And a 1,200 is even an Olympic athlete couldn't run that fast, or even Jeff Bezos doesn't have the time and resources to accomplish this.
Yeah,
It's not
like
happening in a year, sort
like
of thing.
a friend of mine last year had be capable of benching 250 pounds, and I said,
Yeah,
"Wow, how much can you bench now?" And he said 40 pounds, and that is not physically capable of doing that in 12 months without
yeah,
hurting himself.
yes, yeah, 100%.
And of course, there's a little bit of like, there's a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, there's an importance factor, right? If something is uh, uh, if something is greatly significant to a person, if it will really meaningfully improve their life, that might increase the score as well, because we want to encourage people to do that sort of thing.
Yeah, yeah. If you can prove us wrong, and that's why like we encourage the people to still pursue things that are higher scores because like if you can do it, you can do it. We encourage you not to hurt or harm yourself in the process, but that's usually a separate conversation.
Absolutely.
So let's talk about our resolutions for this year.
Let's
And
do it.
by the
Let's do
way,
it, dude.
feel free to make your own and play along with your own friends.
Yeah.
This is I leave this to the world
Yeah.
to do what it wants with it.
I've been thinking about what like whether we might try to organize this somehow. But I think for right now, we'll call 2023 the first year that we're doing this kind of publicly. For right now, Zach, I say if people want to play along, post your resolutions in the Discord, and we will absolutely talk about it. We will cheer you
Yeah.
on for every single thing you do.
And if people want to give you scores, they're more than welcome to do that as well.
Yeah, this
If
it'll
you
be a
want to make
little loosey goosey, but whatever. It doesn't matter.
yeah, we'll go a little loosey goosey, and if we want to do something more organized in the future, we possibly could.
Yeah. Try to have
So
we have 12. I don't know about you, but I try to have a good mix of things that are pretty easily achievable and things that are pretty goddamn hard.
yeah, I think you had finished Star Trek Voyager your first year, and
Yeah,
you were
that
in
was
like,
fun.
you were in season one, but it was a gap in your Star Trek knowledge you wanted to fill. And I remember there's a very fun point where you hit like the like really good seasons, and I think like Star Trek always has consistency problems, but Voyager goes on like this, I don't know, 12 episode tear of not only good but great episodes, or at the very least high level good to like standard level great or higher episodes for like 12, and then there's a bad one, which is very funny and very Star Trek.
Oh God, Star Trek Voyager is so like it has the most wonderful variance of any of those 90s Star Treks. Where it goes from really, really good to really, really bad very quickly.
It goes from high concept executed well and it's a very smart concept to high concept but the concept was dumb and it's executed poorly, sometimes within episodes of each
Yes,
other.
like
Sometimes it's literally
sometimes you will get great execution, bad execution, great execution right after each other.
yes, it's a little sandwich.
Yeah, just a little treat, you know, a little treat, little Tuvok flavored treat.
Little Tuvix flavored treat.
Yeah, snap into a Tuvix. All right, Zach. What do you say we do this? We do this snake draft style, like we did the Halloween video.
Yeah, I agree. Let's do it that way.
All right, sick. Would you like first pick or second two?
I'll pick second two. You can go first, pick.
All right, dude. Here we go. My first pick. We're starting off with a big one here, Zach.
That's good.
Publish a book.
This is perfect.
I
Because you have a book, you have a book to publish, and you haven't.
I do. I do. It needs some heavy editing, but I have been sitting on it for more than a year. So I am going to commit myself to finishing the editing, send it out to as many people as I can, and then start sending it to editors. Um, as far as I am concerned, I will consider this if I am in the publication process, which is to say if I am in talks with literary agents or publishing companies, I will consider it on pause until that literary agent or that publishing company has gotten back to me. So this may flow over into the next year to some small degree. But if I am in no talks with literary agents and no talks with publication companies at the end of the year, god damn it, I'm going to do it myself. And I'm going to become a self-published author and nobody can tell me not to.
I love it. All right. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, that's it. That's it.
This
I
is
have a
your
book.
this is your
It's sci-fi horror. Motherfuckers
Yeah,
can read it right
that's
now if they want to be my test audience. It's done. There it is.
that's the one that was based on a very good Dread campaign you ran.
Yes.
It's not my favorite of your Dread campaigns, but it's definitely up there.
Yeah.
It's actually like it's my favorite of the ones that aren't with the Chicago like detectives.
I just
The
love
Chicago
I just
Detective
love Dread.
series. The Chicago Detective series should be its own books also.
I have some loose outlines for the first one and the second one in that series, but for the moment that will be on hold because of something we're going to see a little bit later in my list.
Which is probably to make them into a book.
Yep.
Or maybe not. Who knows? I do want to say, oh no, actually, I think I know what it is on your list. It's on hold. I do want to say, if those ever get adapted into a film, I did base my character off of Kurt Russell, and in fact named him Kurt Russell because I wasn't feeling creative that day.
In the yes, in that one, I had forgotten that your character was named Kurt Russell. I did in the the outline drafts. I think that I did name that character canonically something that is not Kurt Russell but has Kurt Russell energy. It's like it's like uh uh like
Russ Kirtle.
like Rick Farrell or something like that.
Excellent, excellent.
All right,
Okay,
Zach, what do you got?
very similar to yours. My number one is release my debut album of original music.
So, do you want me to broaden that to say release an album, or do you want it to be that specific?
Release an album. I've released albums like on YouTube. I've just dropped 40 minutes worth of music. It's often remixes or mashups. I would say release an album of original music, I guess, would be the way I'd put it. If you want to tweak that.
Hang on,
I've not.
we'll just do one of these. We'll say release an
And
original album.
yes. I have an album I'm sitting on that I've been tweaking like endlessly. I started working on it in 2020, and I quote unquote finished it in 2021. Still is tweaking it again in 2022. It is now 2023, and I'm still tweaking it. I'm still replacing things and changing things. I have vocals that are recorded, and I only like some of the songs, and I have an entire second vocalist who I still need to like get to record everything, and I need to get an album cover made. Luckily, the vocalist I picked is also an incredibly talented artist. And I also put down here that there will be physical distribution and some sort of advertising. So if you want to buy a physical copy of this album, that will be a thing you can do until supplies run out. I mean, actually, you know what? If supplies run out, I'll print more because clearly people want it.
Yeah. I'll buy a copy of your album. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll buy the deluxe edition.
And there will be some sort of advertising. I have some plans for that if we want to divulge further, but that's something we can save, I suppose. We're gonna do update videos, I presume. So
yes, yeah. I was thinking monthly, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe who knows?
Maybe, yeah, whatever. The second channel is also a little loosey goosey.
In the next one, I'm going to, in the interest of fair play, I'm going to censor a number.
Okay.
Which is earn at least X amount, where X is the number that I'm censoring, in a single month via the internet. And the reason I say I'm censoring it is so somebody can't donate that amount of money to me because I wouldn't want them
to. You heard him. Get next stream. Get in there. Do a super chat of an amount of money that you think will exceed this dollar value. Zach, how many digits am I putting here? Is it this number of digits?
It is 3 digits.
Is it this number of digits?
It is 3 digits. I'll tell you that.
So we'll do one of these. There it is.
There. Nobody donate that much to me. I don't know how I'm going to explain it to my tax attorney. He's already
earn at least
XXX dollars. We'll say censored. in a single month via the internet.
I'm gonna have to shrink all of these fonts, I think.
That one fits just barely.
Okay. All right.
It's good.
If we're satisfied with that.
Yeah. People are listening, right? If somebody's
Yeah.
just viewing this, they're having the most boring time of their life.
Yes.
This is just a reminder. In a single month, I want to earn an amount that I think it's not like it would be, what I could make my career off of or anything like that. But it would signify that like the stuff I'm creating, both on this channel and the main Interesting Nerd Club channel and the Zach from the Club channel and everywhere else that I might be making content, including my music, which will be streaming online.
By the way, you should go subscribe to Zach from the Club. Zach from the Club is an excellent channel, and Zach actually puts effort into his stuff.
I might actually have more Zach from the Club stuff on this resolutions list.
Whoa.
But yeah, it will be. I just want to get to the point where I can say, the internet pays for, I don't know, my groceries or my car insurance, although I'm thinking of getting rid of my car and just taking public transit everywhere, or, stuff like that. I just want to be able to say, like, thank you, internet, for deleting this payment from my life, because I'll still work my day job, which I do enjoy, but I will have just a manifestly better life, and I will have had fun doing it by making things on the internet that other people seem to really enjoy. So that is something I want to attempt to do, is get to the point where I have one less fiscal concern, and it's all from making things people enjoy on the internet, because I love doing it, and if I can make money doing something I love, I'll do it 100% of the time.
Agreed. That's such a wonderful sentiment. And also, I like doing what we're doing right now. It's very fun.
Same.
Okay. Anything you want to add to that?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, I got one for you. Create a playable board game.
We have a lot in common this year.
I'm gonna stop censoring these. I'm capitalizing these. I don't know. What do you think? It looks better this way. What do you think?
And then just,
Do we,
yeah.
Do we like title case?
Yeah, title case. I think it looks nice.
All right, there it is. Create a playable board game. Zach, I have debuted this to you briefly over Tabletop Simulator.
It was fun.
I pitched the idea of a board game maybe like a month ago, and I made a shitty little prototype in Tabletop Simulator. After scrawling a functional copy onto index cards. I think it might be good? Question mark. I think it
I
might
had
be
fun playing it.
worthwhile.
I think depending on the people you're playing it with and how you play it, there's a lot of fun you can have with it.
Yeah.
Which is to say that like it is a good core, and building some like fluff, maybe putting some like it doesn't even need to be like intricate art, just like art that tracks on top of it. I could see this game like being whipped out like a lot when you just have like a couple groups of friends over and you want to like play something. It's quick, easy to pick up, but it has a like tabletop RPG feel without being a tabletop RPG.
It's kind of good. It's kind of good. I kind of like it.
Yeah, and I think with a little bit of refining, it could be like addictive.
And I will elaborate on that more, maybe in a separate video on this channel. I don't know.
I think that's like fine use of this channel where we do sort of do whatever. Is to do whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna do with this channel the same thing we did with the last one, which is do whatever. And if YouTube decides that something's sticking, well, maybe there's another interesting nerd network coming in the future.
Yeah. We do as the algorithm guides us.
Zach, I got another one for you. You ready?
Do it. I'm ready.
Ooh. This is a big one. This is a carryover from a previous year. Purchase a building.
Exactly one building.
Yes, purchase a building. This is something that I have been trying to do for a long time. Um, Money is a terrible thing, and rent is one of the things that makes me want to vomit most on planet Earth.
It's not fun paying it. There's a
I
reason. There's a reason I have 3 roommates.
I would love to be in a situation where I can get a shitty house that I can start to fix up myself and no longer need to be in a situation where I'm at the mercy of other people to continue to be able to live.
And
This
I think
might be
it's
a pipe dream. Fully, this might be a pipe dream. This might not be possible
also like it's also
within a year.
competed on, or like your ability to like live in a way that makes you most comfortable, because you like me are a little bit more of a night owl, I feel like, uh, and you also
Sorry, go ahead.
you also like to do things that might be loud or otherwise attention grabbing,
Yeah.
and not to like throw too many details about you out into the internet, but you like to party.
Yes, and having to consult other human beings about having about violating noise ordinances is
Like, yeah,
is not fun for me. And
having to clear like, hey, I just want to have a bunch of friends over to like drink and play D&D, and I don't really know when. Doesn't fly when you have multiple other people's schedules to be concerned
yes,
about. But when you're the only person who stays in the house all the time,
yeah,
the only person you have to consult is you.
yes, um, and that would be really nice. And again, that may be a pipe dream, and that's okay, right? That it is okay to aim too high with these kinds of resolutions, um, because the effort that goes into saving enough money to be in a position where I could do this, even if I don't save enough money to be able to do this, the effort of saving that money will be beneficial to me in the future, right?
Yes,
The
you'll.
the act of saving money will be good for me whether I save enough money or not.
We did have conversations about this, and you were just looking at different places, and I think you had consulted Jackson on different neighborhoods in and around Philadelphia, and we have joked that you were just going to bite the bullet and buy a house in Kensington and discover a meth lab in the basement. We had a whole like elaborate story that we came up with.
I mean, meth labs are profitable.
Tom, this was how the story ended. Was you saying those exact words and then becoming Walter White? Uh,
Damn it! I was just about to make that joke. All right, Zach, what you got? What you got?
here's another. Oh wait, no, this is not a big one. This is, I mean, this is a continuation of building things up over many years. I want to be able to perform a concert length set list on bass.
Concert length set on bass.
Yes, I want to
I'm
be
being
able to go.
conservative with my spacing here.
No, no, that's perfect. I used to be in bands a lot, and I could just play bass for hours and hours on end. I am getting older. I have probably rheumatoid arthritis. I also have dyspraxia, which makes like playing like fine motor skill tough to begin with, and my skills have atrophied a little bit. But I want to push through and say that I can play 90 minutes of continuous music, and uh, I want it to be different songs. I want to be able to play however many songs I can cram into 90 minutes or whatever. Uh, for like a full concert, because one of my dreams is to tour playing music for part of my life, and the part where it's not going to suck to do that is shrinking rapidly. So I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but I want to string all the things together, like releasing albums that people listen to and actually being physically capable of performing for that long, into like resolutions to test whether that's feasible or whether that's a dream that's just going to have to die. And being able to play bass and do it for an extended period of time. Even if I'm like gonna be the singer in my like group that I do while I'm on touring, I just want to know I can do that. To focus on music and hammer it away and do something that's not necessarily easy for 90 minutes straight consistently. And also, it would be nice to build up the calluses on my fingers again because once you have them, it just makes playing instruments so much easier, and they have disappeared over the years.
And Zach, I just just to put this on the record, when you're at the top of your game, you are a prolific artist on bass.
I
And
think,
I would love to see you at that level again.
yeah, and that's where I want to be. I want to be at the point where I'm practicing more. I'm like thinking about it more, and I'm doing it more. Because like sometimes, like I'm staring at the two bass guitars I brought with me to Pennsylvania. There's still some back in New York, right now. They also have my guitar that's made of a Seven Up crate that I don't think I've ever talked about, but that's a different video. Um, and I haven't touched them since I moved them into this room. When we had an additional roommate move in and we swapped multiple rooms around. I brought the guitars in my bedroom, and there they have sat for 2 or 3 weeks. And there was a point in my life where I practiced bass every day, and I feel bad that I'm not doing that because that was when I was at the top of my game. I was in bands, I was having a blast, and I want to get closer to that.
I love this idea. I think it's wonderful. I think it hits all of the criteria that we look for in these in the resolutions. Right?
Yeah.
It is something that improves you and that you love and that like meaningfully makes your life and the lives of the people around you better.
And
Uh,
it's fun. It's a instant bragging rights thing, right?
yeah,
It looks cool because we also give points for things that we just want to see other people do because it'd be fun. There are resolutions that maybe didn't improve somebody's life massively, but it's like okay, but that sounds like fun, and I want to hear the story.
yeah. All right. What's your number four?
My number four. This is a big one. Uh, get back to and stay below 200 pounds. Uh, I weighed in. I used to be like hovering 180 for a very long time in my life. Many things went wrong in my life. The coping mechanisms that I got most used to were junk food and alcohol, and unfortunately, those do things to your body. So I was at the beginning of last year on a fitness like streak. I was kicking ass. And then I moved, not to Pennsylvania, but to LA very briefly, where I was getting my exercise in at work so intensely that I said I don't need to pay attention to my diet anymore, which was true, but a mistake. And then I moved to Pennsylvania, where I said I'm getting an amount of exercise and I'm sure I can like sort a diet just fine, which was wrong. And then later I stopped getting exercise and it still ruined my diet. So I went back. I weighed in earlier this year below 200 for the first time in a bit, as long as well, not as long as I can remember, but for the first time since I gained a lot of weight. And through a job where I would say you could argue that I saved the world. That's a stretch, but not as much as you'd think. In a job where I may or may not have saved the world, I resumed stress eating and stress drinking, and gained a lot of weight back. I'm hovering around 225 ish right now. I want to lose those 25 pounds and then some, and then still be have my weight start with a one at the beginning of next year.
Um, may I proselytize for a moment?
Go for it.
It turns to camera two. Um, if you are considering joining us in this endeavor, I would I would caution you on on engaging in strict like in strict weight loss or body image resolutions because they are hard to accomplish and they can really suck to not accomplish.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying don't. It is your life, and the things that you want to make better about your life are your own.
Look, the reason I'm doing this
But
is so my
just
t-shirts fit again.
y-
Gonna be
uh,
completely honest here. I have a bunch of shirts that like they show my they can see a little too much skin. I just want to be able to wear my Undertale shirt in public again. It's
uh, and Zach, I just want to just make sure that you know that you are a hot motherfucker. And regardless of the t-shirts you are fitting in, I am confident you are getting plenty of Undertale. There you go. There's your joke for the day. It's 1:58 in the morning.
it is 1:58 in the morning.
Yes. I might say I like this resolution. I think it is good and achievable, and
Yeah,
and getting yourself into a position where you feel better about yourself is admirable. Now,
yeah.
that being said, if you are considering doing this at home, I might caution you, and I might say do something like this. I also have a fitness resolution, and I'm not saying it's better or worse, but these ones tend to work better for me, where I set myself real specific goals that aren't directly like that aren't physically related. Complete a 10K.
Nice. I think you
Um,
did a 5K one year, right?
in fact, one year I competed in and finished the Buffalo Marathon, the Buffalo Half Marathon, I should say.
And
Um,
oh, the wonderful thing about the Buffalo Half Marathon is they give you a beer at the
they
end.
do. They
Right after
fucking
you've worked out, so it's gonna hit like a ton of bricks.
yeah, man. I completed the Buffalo Half Marathon in 2 hours, 58 minutes, and 56 seconds. And I did that with the goal. I entered into it with the goal. My resolution that year was complete and place in a half marathon, and their threshold for placing is completing in less than 3 hours. So I did it by the skin of my teeth, less than 3 minutes. Uh, and in this wonderful scenario, you run through, you run through the tape at the end. Metaphorically, the tape was broken like an hour and a half earlier, but that's fine. You run through the half marathon, you raise your hands in the air, they slap a medal in one hand and an IPA in the other. It's just this wonderful situation. I used to be a pretty good runner. Actually, almost exclusively because of the resolution bowl. I did complete. I did be able to run 4 miles one year, and then complete a half marathon the next year. And a half marathon is 13.1 miles.
Actually,
It's a twenty.
I
It's
want to
about
say
a
like
20K.
I've become a very good like persistent walker because
Nice.
last year I had a like steps and minutes walked goal that I completed, and that I credit with eating terribly for an entire year and gaining honestly not as much weight as I thought I would because I was at least like forcing myself to like exercise some amount.
Yeah.
Uh, and I have to say that was the like resolution bowl at least helped me tread water a little bit. But you had done a lot of running for previous
I
resolution bowls. I
I
feel like it's been
had.
a running thing every year.
Yes. Am I in your way right now? Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry if I'm too loud. If I am, just throw something at me.
Forgot you were recording this
What?
in an airport.
Well, once again, just to reiterate, I am doing this live from the Charlotte Douglas Airport. I'm so sorry. Um, uh, yes, I had completed the Buffalo Half Marathon, and it was one of the crowning moments of my life. And I wanted to continue, and in 2022, I wanted to pursue a full marathon. Unfortunately, I hurt my knee really bad in the spring of 2022, and I have been unable to run properly since. I only just started training again late last year. Um, and I think that I would like to start getting back into it slowly at first, try to do a couple of like pretty easy 5Ks over the summer, and then maybe in October I know that there are a couple of There are a couple of Halloween themed 5Ks and 10Ks. I think I'm going to try to do one of those late in the year. And I'm not suggesting that this is a better way to do it than just having a set weight loss goal, but I find more success in having specific workout goals, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if I am able, like, the act of training for a 10K will get me closer to the weight goals that I would like, and it will make it so that I'm not focusing on them too much, which is something I have trouble with.
Yeah, exactly. Because then it becomes tough when you see all the effort you put in and it doesn't translate to as much weight as you think you would want it to be. And the 10K is way more achievable. It forces you to be persistently focused on the goal. I agree. Like I thought really long and hard about like how can I make a weight loss metric that I stick to, and I was like, do something you've proven you can do before, and then anything else is extra was the way I chose to do it. But I think this is another good way to do it is focus on a goal that by necessity, by achieving it, you will have done a lot more exercise and fitness.
Yes. And I think that both of these, they both have their strengths and weaknesses in their own ways. Because like if with the 10K, if I focus too much on it, then sometimes I will not pay attention to the things that will make me healthy outside of those. You know what I mean? But on a related note, I have another fitness resolution.
Nice.
Zach, you will recognize this one. This was one of the like dominating forces for me last year. uh, Eat restaurant food. Food. No more.
Wait. Do the less than symbol.
Uh, Hang on. Let's see. Ah, damn. Let's see. Uh, Less than 20. Oh, dang it.
No, do the carrot. Do the carrot. Oh yeah, the
I
carrot.
eat at restaurants less than 24 times. Ooh, we're getting tighter.
Do the carrot. The carrot's inevitable. Do the carrot.
I don't want the carrot. I don't want the
Okay.
carrot.
That fits. That's just barely fitting.
Ugh.
We're gonna call it. We're gonna call it.
Dang it. All right, fine. Less than 24 times.
There we go. There we go.
Less than 24 times. Uh,
But that's greater than.
Eat at restaurants less than 24 times. I can math. Um, for I This was one that I implemented last year because I was running through my finances for the year of our Lord 2021. And I'm not going to share the number because it really embarrasses me, actually. In 2021, I ordered food from Uber Eats a lot. I went out to restaurants a lot. I would stop and get fast food a lot. Um, uh, uh, and
And that's hurting you at two ends. One, you can't really get a concise calorie count. I mean,
yes,
you can. They like list it on the menu, but you can't like. It's harder to portion control when you're not making the portions, and it costs a hell of a lot more than buying groceries
it
in the
does.
grand
It
scheme.
it it destroyed my wallet. And I'm going to share a little bit about Tom. There's a past Tom that exists that I call Fat Tom. Um, I used to be 315 pounds. Zach, you may remember this Tom.
I
Um,
remember this time.
and I was a very very unhealthy person to the point where it was dangerous for myself. Um, and I managed to kick that habit. And lose over 100 pounds. Actually, over 130, I think.
Wow.
Um, Over the course of about a year and a half. And in 2020 and 2021, after COVID and in the year or so following that, I started to fall into those fat Tom habits. Um, and I could feel myself moving back toward that person that I really did not want to hit again. So in 2022, I began to implement this restaurant resolution where basically I just tried really hard not to go to McDonald's at the, after work every day, not to order from Uber Eats, not to do these kinds of things. And to, in concert with my fitness resolutions, to try to be a little bit healthier. And this is one of the things that helped me out the most. I failed it last year. I failed it in early November because I had a really stressful time at work, and I crashed hard. Um, uh,
Sorry,
uh,
I'm just realizing the same thing that destroyed your fitness is the same thing that destroyed my fitness.
oh, sure did.
You may be piecing together more information about us.
Yep.
And yes, that's
Zach,
correct.
Zach and Tom continue to move further and further down the path of doxing ourselves. Um, that was
I feel like if you're on this,
that magical mystery ride. I hope you're enjoying the 2000s and 2010s pop that's been playing in the background this whole time. If you're not, there's nothing I can do about it.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, so this is one that I found great success in last year. I ate at my 25th meal in November, which means that I made it 10 solid months. I think this is an achievable goal. What do you think?
I think so, and I think it's a matter of giving yourself a better running start, and then whether you end up in a stressful situation like that or not this year, and it's kind of up in the air. If you'll be working somewhere that's going to have a real crunch period, like we often do, to not give him more details. Either either or, like even whether you do or not, I feel like having done it in the past and demonstrating that you are capable of getting really far means that you have a solid shot of doing it this year.
Yes. That now we are going to have to rules lawyer a little bit about what 24 times means, just like we did last year, but we can save that for the end.
The what I would do is say if you really are have a hankering for going out somewhere, you should go to an all you can eat buffet and stay there for as long as you possibly can to get the most meals in. Because I would count that as eating at a restaurant once.
I agree. In fact, last year, we decided to go with the phrase "waking periods" on fewer than 24 waking periods. That way, if I'm on vacation, I visited my mom in New York City quite a bit last year. If I am visiting my mom in New York City, we could have breakfast together and still go out for pizza in the evening and not have it count me twice. And I thought that was a good way to do it.
Yeah, fewer than 24 days of consuming food which was not prepared by you. Yes.
Yes. No,
And
not. We can't say
that
not
doesn't.
prepared by me because I can still go to your house in Philly and you can make me a Philly cheesesteak, and that doesn't count for me either.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yes.
Goodness, I don't know. I don't know if anybody at Schmuck House could put together a decent Philly cheesesteak. I couldn't do it when I tried.
Ooh, Zach, I challenge you. By the way, this will come up in future. We do have side bets. Zach, I bet
Yeah.
you can't make a decent Philly cheesesteak.
I feel like I'm better equipped having lived in Philly for almost a year now.
Nah, I bet you 50 points you can't serve me a decent Philly cheesesteak.
Okay, you know what? Challenge accepted. We'll put that in the side bet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will start to copy the recipe that Pudges has because it's really good.
All right. What's your next one?
Oh boy, it's my turn again.
Yeah.
My number 5 is this is a 2-in-1. Write and direct a short film and a music video.
A short. You know what? You mind if I expand this a little bit, both for the sake of space and for the sake of inclusivity?
I would just say we're like I would just put a plus instead of the and it should fit. Oh, it does fit. Cool. Look at that.
Yeah,
We're
but
good.
I have changed this to film.
Okay.
And for my purposes, I would certainly qualify a short film as a film. But this way, if you happen to score a directorial gig for something feature length, we don't have to not count that.
That's true. I want to I studied thinking I would go right out of college into film school and then make movies. There are some things that rattled my confidence in my ability to go do that, and I went down a very, very different path in life, but part of me still has that sort of like desire to tell stories in a visual medium. And I like know that like I had friends in college who went to go do that. And as far as I could tell, none of them are like, you know, big names in Hollywood. I'm sure some of them did make it out to do film and stuff like that. And from what I've seen, I think some of them have worked on like, I don't know, smaller scale TV shows and stuff like that. And that's great and all good for them. But I don't know. I still have a desire to tell creative stories. And I also don't care that I'm doing it in like the most amazing and high tech way possible with like, you know, I don't care if I make a cheap film, basically. I have ideas for movies that I could make, I could film relatively cheaply. They don't require all that much in the budget department. And if I get good actors with a good script, it could still be fun. And I want to tell some of those stories. And I want to make a music video because I love music videos as an art form. There's occasionally I get hyper fixated on like a really cool music video. There's recently been a meme about a really cool music video that came from a Family Guy funny moment.
Zach, I'm so sorry. It's so hard to hear you because the Aerosmith is so loud.
What Aerosmith song?
I don't want to miss a thing. With my
I knew it was gonna be that one. So I want to direct a music video for one of my songs. I want to direct a short film of some sort, and that I could say I directed and released things. And I think those ones will just go up on YouTube for
All right.
y'all to enjoy.
I think that's a wonderful idea. Would you like me to do this?
No, it's right
No?
and direct.
Right and direct? Okay.
I will. I have to come up with the concept and execute it.
Okay. I love it. I love it. I think that's a great idea.
Excellent. Number 6 is another double.
Sure.
So I also have a board game.
Okay. Yes, you do. I love your board game.
I want to vastly improve that board game, and I want to. I would say finalize it as a board game. Get it to the point where I'm confident that it functions as intended as a board game, and I also want to make a mod for a video game as a way to get some game design under my belt. So this is a setup for where I turn my board game idea into an online video game that people can play on their computer, but I'm going to do it instead of trying to do that as one, you know, near impossible task to do in gosh, I'm tired, sorry, a single year. I'm going to like get the game to the point where it is in its final, like the rules are good, everything is solid state, and then I'm going to at the same time get some like game design, maybe a tiny bit of like programming, although it's a pretty easy to mod game, so it's not necessarily super programming. Get some idea of like what I'm going to be working with before I just throw this at one of my friends who knows how to code and say, make my game for me. I want some more perspective before I do that. So I will be ideally making my board game, which is based on history and very fun to play for the people who've played it.
Can I say the name? I love the name so much.
Go for it.
It's called Smoke Filled Room. It's good.
It's called Smoke Filled Room, and the concept is you are party bosses back when they controlled like presidential nominations, and you're cutting backroom deals. It's like a deception game. You all have secret goal cards of what you want to accomplish. You get points depending on what you accomplish, and the winner is the person with the most points because you steered the party in the direction that benefits you the most.
It's this interesting combination of, oh gosh, it's almost like a combination of like mafia and diplomacy. It's really good.
And I have some things I need to iron out in it, but it has history in it. It is a deception game, and it's a deception game where you know everybody else is lying to some capacity or not giving the full truth in some capacity. The only rule I think is you cannot show people your card or literally read it word for word to just demonstrate that you have it. You can say, yeah, I want to. My goal is to do this, and then people have to, think whether you're bullshitting or not, basically.
Do you remember it?
And
Do you remember in TTT the meta of spell innocent backwards?
yes, I still do this. Fun fact about me is I still play TTT to this day.
Nice.
And I still tell people to spell innocent backwards to this day.
I used to have a sticky note with the word innocent on it, and I would put that on my computer.
It's the funniest shit.
Zach,
I never in a million years thought of that.
Do we like this turn of phrase right here?
Let's see.
Finalize a board game and video game.
And let's see. I would say video game mod, but you can put like VG mod, I guess.
Can I? Because
I'm modifying a video game. I'm actually going to make a sub mod, actually, because this will come up later. I am on the dev team for a very popular Hearts of Iron 4 mod. Goodness. And I want to make a sub mod that adds more content to that, independent of the development I do. I don't do any of the programming. I don't do any of the writing. I'm on the music team. I thought about joining the writing team, but they have like pretty strict like standards for how much work you need to turn in, and my life is a highly variable schedule. But the music team doesn't have any standards whatsoever. It's just like, yeah, submit music, and we'll add it in the game. It's like, cool. That works for my schedule, doing things randomly.
I think that leashes are my favorite sub mod. How dare you laugh? How dare you laugh at that? That wasn't funny at all. Zach, would you like one of mine?
Yes.
Okay, you ready? We talked about diving in a video that has not come out yet, but that's fine. Plunder a sunken ship.
Yeah. We've talked about this so many times. You're gonna go rob the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yeah. A couple of years ago, my dad and I got scuba certified. Deeply unfortunately, my dad was diagnosed with cancer the following year. So the two of us have actually never been diving together. In fact, the first time I will ever be diving properly is going to be in like 10 hours.
Oh, that explains your trip, actually.
Yeah. My dad likes to dive for the fish. He loves tropical fish. He loves like basically all things tropical. He loves coral reefs. He loves sharks. Wants to swim with sharks more than almost anything else in the world. That is not the reason that I'm diving. I love fish; they're great, but I'm in it for the urban exploration elements, and you can see some
adventure.
Hints.
Damn it.
Yeah, there's some hints about my personality in there if you care enough to look for other channels I have.
I am in some of those videos on another channel. You can see a lot about our lives through those ones. Although I didn't go on many of the urban exploring ones because I have a fear of probably a rational fear of spending the rest of my life behind bars.
This is reasonable, honestly.
I don't think walking into a building nobody's using is how I get there, but the irrational part of my brain does not believe this.
I love the allure of abandoned human structures, and shipwrecks are one of the pinnacles of that. I am not covered dive certified at this moment. I have never trained as a covered diver. So I will need to take that training and get that certification before I can do this. But I think that is an achievable goal. It is an expensive goal, but not... Tom sucks air through his teeth. Not, I think, prohibitively expensive. Asterisk.
For the joy of plundering a sunken ship, you're willing to spend that amount of money.
Yes, exactly. Now, we will have to discuss the definition of plunder.
Look, if you come out with a fork that was in there.
Yes.
You have pirate treasure.
Yeah, that's
Not really.
pirate. Like strictly speaking, right? So I find a ship, right? I find a
Mhm.
ship. I bring a flag, presumably with the interesting nerd club logo on it. I bring a flag, and I plant that flag on that ship and declare myself the captain. Strictly speaking, that makes me a pirate, and there's an allure to that for me.
I agree. That makes you a pirate.
And I am only the pirate captain of that ship until someone else shows up and takes my flag away. But who knows how long that'll be? So yeah, there it is. There it is. There's an adventure resolution. I love adventure resolutions.
As do I. I think I have. I do have an adventure resolution in here. In fact, we're gonna get to it.
I got a good one here. You want a good one?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Uh, complete one screenplay.
Yeah, and I know
Yeah.
your idea for this, and it's a fun one.
It is fun. I will consider talking about it on a future video. But I have the like the basic pitch done, and just like writing a book. Writing a book like that thing is dang 75,000 words long. There's too much book in that book. Uh, the average screenplay is between 8 and 25,000 words, depending on what kind of screenplay. I could do that shit. I can do that shit over dinner.
How can you say there's too much book in that book when the only reason any other human being is watching this video right now is because of George R. R. Martin indirectly?
No, we're getting the one person who is here just because they watched the Halloween video.
They just watched the Halloween video, or they're the rare person who are like, finally, somebody did a Deep Space Nine smasher pass.
Oh man, if you are the one person who is on this channel because of the 69 minutes talking about Jurassic Park, please comment. Please. Yeah, I like it. It is just like my book. It is cosmic horror, which I'm a fan of.
Yes,
And I
we're
think
both
that
fans of.
like I think it's good. I think it is a good idea that if executed could be a good screenplay that Tom leans into the camera and sort of maybe could be cheap to produce if we wanted to talk about that for 2024 resolutions.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
I'm all about movies that don't cost all that much.
there it is.
Because money is, I have some amount of talent and some amount of equipment and less amount of money.
Like there are some hangups, that's for sure, but like it is doable. All right, I pass.
Okay, let's get to my adventure resolution.
All right.
Visit the graves of 20 people I admire.
Of 20 people of note, may I say?
I admire. It has to
Oh,
personally.
okay,
It doesn't have to be,
sure. This is a good time to talk about this.
I know. I admire.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All of these are subjective. These are things to make you better as far as you are concerned. And Zach, if these are nerds that I've never heard of, if these are graves of people that I've never heard of in my life, cool.
I have a short list of like different graveyard. I made a promise to some of the other friends I were on this with that I wouldn't just go to one graveyard that has 20 people I could say I admire to some capacity and call it done. That it has to be multiple different graveyards and there has to be some amount of adventuring. Now, look, I'm gonna go to Arlington. It's gonna happen,
Nice.
and there's gonna be a lot of people there, but. There's also ones in New York City. There's some back in the Buffalo area where I want to visit.
May I recommend one?
Go for it.
Have we talked about Mount Hope Cemetery?
I don't know if we have.
Mount Hope Cemetery is in Rochester, and there you will find the graves of both Frederick Douglass. Yes,
right.
Absolutely.
I knew they were in Rochester. I didn't know the cemetery, and they're actually not far from each other, and they're on my list.
Yeah, I had a picnic at let's say an interesting time of day on Susan B. Anthony.
That's
one of my more memorable adventures.
Yes. Quite.
Ooh,
Shirley Chisholm is also buried in Buffalo. I've been to her grave
I
before.
did not
but
know that.
Shirley Chisholm is buried in Buffalo.
I
Yeah,
thought she was from downstate.
she is, but I think she was. I think it goes that she was born in an infant in Buffalo, if I'm not mistaken, or
Oh,
lived
that's so
here at some
cool.
point. And then she spent her entire life in New York City. And then she was buried here. I think either like because she was lived here for part of her life, or because she has family here, more family in Buffalo than in New York City. So I don't know for sure. I
May I
might do a
further
Shirley Chisholm video someday.
recommend
But
one that is not too far from you? Edgar Allan Poe is, of course, buried in Baltimore.
he is on my list. He is in
Yeah,
Baltimore.
you got such a good list already.
I have people in Philly. I have people in New York City, and I have some long shots too because
Man, I just want to talk about like graves of people that I like.
I knew you would really like this one, but
Um,
I want to point out that
my
one
mom
of
and
the things.
my mom and I hunted down Alexander Hamilton's grave while we were in New York.
Yes, I've also walked past it. And my understanding was it was very, very close to where your mom was staying.
Yes.
Because she was on Wall Street in a turn of events, and it's very close to Wall Street.
Yeah.
And but yes, I've been to Hamilton's grave, and I might. That's on the list, but I've been there many times. I've taken people there, so it feels kind of cheap. But
Reasonable.
on this list are some far-flung ones. My favorite president is Eisenhower. He is buried at the Eisenhower Presidential Library in Kansas.
Oh.
And Leo Ryan is buried near San Francisco, California. I think he's in San Mateo, California, near San Francisco.
All right.
I've been in that area. I was not at that point fully, engrossed in Leo Ryan lore. But as I said, I think at the end of my video essay, I want to like sort of make a journey there. I've also sort of looked at Pittsburgh too. I see you pulling it up.
Yeah, I'm just looking around.
I've always wanted. Well, I felt ever since I started researching him, the beginning of that project, it's a good way to get closure for how much like I delved into that man's life and how much I related to him. If I could go pay my respects, so I want to do that. And I should also note on the list of graves to visit, it's not just famous people. There are some friends and family members on there too, whose graves I haven't been to in a while, and I feel like I should include them as well.
God. There, it turns out there are survivors of the Titanic buried in Toronto.
Interesting.
Whoa.
All right,
Okay.
that is my adventure resolution.
All right.
And
What
then,
else you got?
Here's a fun one. Paint all my unpainted Warhammer minis.
Oh.
That is,
Is that gonna fit?
and
it might barely fit. Hey, look at that.
yeah, and for those of you who are asking, okay, well, Zach, well, that could be easy depending on the army you play. I play orcs in 40k.
No.
I play my units are cheap. They wear t-shirts, and I have to hope that they just shoot you with a wall of bullets before you shoot them. And that means I have many, many, many minis, and I have been slacking about the hobby for several years now. And I love painting minis. It brings me a lot of joy, and it's quite relaxing. So I need to paint every single mini I've got, and then also, hey, I play fantasy too. I have Sylvaneth somewhere. I did not bring them with me to Philly; they're back in Buffalo. But I'm gonna try and get all of my orcs taken care of first, and then I'll make the trip back to Buffalo to find my Sylvaneth and paint all of them. Sylvaneth are treants, basically, plant people. So I'm gonna have to do the orcs, which are not super duper difficult to paint, but I've a ton of them. And then the Sylvaneth, where I'm gonna want to give. I was thinking of giving them like a very like a. I was gonna go full weeaboo and give them a full like cherry blossom style Sylvaneth, which is gonna be painstaking to make them look all beautiful and cherry blossomy.
I kind of love this idea. This is such a good like hobby resolution.
Yes.
Also, I know it's 2:30 in the morning. Can I do a quick bit riffing on something you said?
Please do. Please do.
Okay, you have many minis. How many of your many minis are cartoon mice? Because it's important for me to know uh, how many mini minis is many minis.
I think the funny thing is we do have I'm not including my D&D minis that me and my brother share, but we probably do have. I don't know who kept the mice people. They're like adorable little mice people that come with some of the Reaper minis that they used to do. Like you used to be able to like. I still don't know if I don't know if they do it still, and maybe you still can do this. Reaper minis would do a Kickstarter where they would kickstart all their minis for the year by just making a box set that you could like get using Kickstarter, and then they would use that money to make it so they could also sell all of those individually. And uh, we did that for 2 or 3 boxes in a row with a group of friends where we'd split the costs 4 ways, and then just like we would bring the box in and argue over who got what. And I probably do have minis that are mice, but they're not Warhammer minis.
Zach,
However,
you just went off and like you just
oh
told me
no,
like interesting things.
the tangent gets funnier.
Okay.
My brother plays Chaos Space Marines in 40K, and
Okay.
his fantasy army, Tom, is the Skaven, who are mice, who are 100% mice. So
Okay.
Sam has many minis.
Okay. You went off on that whole thing, and I just want you to know that I have like 4 more adjectives that rhyme with mini that I was gonna line up, but I feel like we've run out of time for this bit. I was gonna ask if any of the how like do they eat enough? Are they many skinny mini minis? Like what are they made of? Are they brass? Are they plastic? Or are they many tinny skinny mini minis? I had the whole thing ready.
They're usually plastic or fine cast.
And
Your brother's
sci-fi.
Skaven army
Oh,
is
sci-fi.
amazing, by the way. So is 40K. Like his minis in general, he's one of the best painters I've ever met. But yeah,
Okay, Zach, we're moving on. Holy
yes,
shit. Okay. Um, you ready for this?
yeah.
Publish not publish greater than 75 videos total.
Woo!
Yeah. Um.
That's both the Interesting Nerd Club, the Interesting Nerd Network. Maybe you'll resurrect that old channel that shall not be named.
Oh my
Uh,
God! If people want to, like, it's on the internet. It's called the Scruffy Ruffians, and I am actually trying to get my D and
oh,
D crew back.
that's not the one I was talking about.
Oh, which one are you talking about? Never mind.
The
Uh,
I don't
um,
realize which one I'm talking about.
that is across all platforms. I think that is an achievable goal. At least like 1.5 a week, right? Something like 6 a month. Um, will get me to that. Maybe I don't know. Not I'm sorry, not 6, like 10 a month. It'll be fun. I don't know. Math is hard. Um, I
Okay,
think that
we do.
I think this is an achievable goal for me, right? Um,
Well, we do 2 videos every week on the Interesting Nerd Club, and there's
yeah,
what 52 weeks in a year.
yeah,
So even if you only do the Interesting Nerd Club,
yep.
you'll have completed that.
This should be fine, right? It should be fine. But I want to have it on here so that I have an added incentive to stick to it.
Yes.
Furthermore, get another tattoo.
I almost put a tattoo resolution.
I like tattoos, and I want more.
I'm thinking about getting my first one. I don't actually have any tattoos.
I
I'm
like
thinking
it.
about getting one rather soon because I want to commemorate the very important and fun and exhausting and caused me to gain 30 pounds thing I did last year. Because I'm very proud of what I accomplished and destroyed myself to do. And I feel like a tattoo would be a good way to commemorate it.
I like it.
Instead of, well, I mean, I have other great ways to commemorate it, like this cardboard cutout that is a life size of another human that's staring at me that I put out. And that's all the explanation you're getting. Unless you go back and watch the Babies of Bobby V video, and then you're gonna get a lot more.
You'll note that down at the bottom here, there's a lot more of my easier ones. You know,
Yeah,
like some of them, like there's a good healthy mix. Like some things that are very hard, but getting a tattoo is not hard.
that's true.
It's just
It will
something that
bring
I
you joy.
yeah. It's just something that I want to do, and putting it on this list gives me an excuse to talk about it. Right? It gives me an excuse to remember it.
Yes.
It turns it from something that I want to do, it into something that other people are curious that I might do, right? That other people
Yes.
are interested in. Other people, notably you, maybe other people, if other people watch this, are interested in that happening. And I find that
Yeah.
nice.
And I do like the tattoo you do have.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's a pretty baller one. And do you have an idea of what this one's going to be, or are you going in with no idea?
I know exactly what this one is going to be. I know exactly where it is going to be. It is going to be the Moon Enceladus mirror image to the pocket watch that I have on. I have a pocket watch on my right shoulder. It is going to be the mirror position on my left shoulder.
Nice.
And I'm going to be working toward a time and space motif on my back.
That's fucking awesome, honestly.
Yeah. It's actually a little bit more like, it's more interesting than it sounds for me to put this on here, because I am extremely picky with my tattoo artists. The one who did my pocket watch, it is extremely detailed, painstakingly detailed. But because of complicated things that have to do with breakups, I can't use that tattoo artist anymore. So I have to find a new one who can do that style to that level of skill, and that is challenging at the very least.
You know what? I'll go get mine done at the place I was eyeing around here, and I'll tell you if they're any good, and you can get a tattoo adventure out of it.
All right.
All the way down to the Philly suburbs for a tattoo.
The style that I look for is hyper realistic grayscale, and I do mean hyper realistic.
Like Shireen Baratheon, hyper realistic grayscale.
God, that's very funny. Holy shit. God, how have we not made that joke before? My God, that's very funny. Anyway, what's your number 9?
Oh, goodness. Let's see. My number 9 is this is another double.
Okay.
Write and publish at least 2 successful SCP articles and at least 2 video essays. So you just make it publish 2 SCPs and 2 video essays would be the short way to write it.
Publish 2 plus SCPs
and video essays.
For the pedantic nerds,
things.
strictly speaking, SCP and SCP article are not the same thing. I'll fight you anyway.
Yes, but colloquially in the community, people say, check out my new SCP. And it's actually gotten to the point where people will say, check out my new skip. And like people know what you mean. So yes, technically, but also nobody cares. In the writer community, we're very, very nonchalant about it.
Are we happy with this phrasing?
What was that?
Are we happy with this phrasing?
Yes.
All right.
I'm very happy with that phrase.
All right.
I've been slacking on writing SCPs due to that very important thing I did last year, among other factors. I have many drafts sitting around, and it's been a hot minute since I've entered a contest. So I just want to say, I will get 2 things out, and by successful, I mean that it's still up, because you have, SCPs are judged by a jury of your peers, basically, by them upvoting or downvoting it by saying, yeah, I liked it. No, I didn't. I want them to stay up. I want them to be well into the positive numbers. They don't need to be, amazing, but they need to be, safe from deletion by a considerable amount,
Reasonable.
or an appreciable amount. And I want to make more video essays because I'm kind of proud of the Leo Ryan one. It's not as like
Dude, it's really
intricately
fucking good,
work
man.
like edited, and the production and like audio wise could have been a little bit better. But like I feel like I, in a very digestible form, told a story that I haven't seen told all that much. That's hard to just like read on the internet in a way that's very digestible and approachable. And I want to do that more with other topics. And maybe just make some more like fun and interesting videos in general on that channel.
Zach, I love this idea. I think it's great.
Thank you.
Now this is not SCPs or, this is SCPs and.
Yes,
I like it.
I had to keep up both. I had to keep both things going. Next is we got another music one, which is contribute 10 more high quality original songs to the soundtrack of the Hearts of Iron mod that I'm a part of. So 10 more songs in you could just 10 more songs in Hoi 4 mod.
All right, I like it.
Well, not the base game, a mod. I wish I was making music for the base game. It would have.
I was looking forward to fighting people in the comments about that.
I'm already trying to preempt this comment section being entirely shit posting because this this mod has a well established shit posting community, and it's also in a game that's about war and a dark chapter in history, which means it is shit posting that YouTube is going to freak the fuck out about because it's going to have keywords it doesn't like, which like. I get YouTube's perspective of just wanting to avoid that, and I also get that there's some nuance in like memeing about things that are clearly like alternate history. But I don't want the comment section to have the word Chungus next to a war criminal's name. Don't do that.
I think this is reasonable. Dom turns to camera 2. Just to be clear, I'll ban you forever. Forever.
Yes.
We love our memes. We don't like bad memes.
But in like in the context of that community, I don't like mind, but like don't bring it into unrelated YouTube comment sections where it's like, why am I looking at a meme and then a name of a war criminal?
This is a different place. This is a different place with a different. There are places for that. Not here. Go away.
Yep.
Okay.
I wish the shit posting was a little less edgy, but I like making music. I like the mod. Don't talk about somebody. Don't talk about a real life horrible person's dump truck ass, please.
All right. You wanna? I got a couple of easy ones here. You want them?
Yes.
All right. Here we go. We have play TTRPGs on dang it, greater than 6 occasions.
That's a good one.
This now I know what you're gonna think. People who don't play tabletop games, I know what you're gonna say. 6? That's so easy. It's not.
Not if you're trying to get this group of people
It's
that you
not.
have.
It's not easy.
Together in person to do it. It's very hard. Getting a consistent D&D group is hard.
And if that means that I am able to get my D&D crew, if I'm able to get the Scruffy Ruffians together and we are able to play. Last year we did a 10 episode quote unquote season. If we are able to do that again, cool, we'll clear it just fine. If we aren't able to do that, then 6 Dread games or a couple of one-shot D&D campaigns, which always turn into 4 shots, will easily clear this. This is very clearable. But again, it allows me to focus on it so that I don't forget. Furthermore, run.
Before you type this new one, I like that a lot, just because tabletop games are some of the most like fun and solid. When we first like got to know each other, it was playing a lot of tabletop games and board games and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
in college,
absolutely.
and it really was a good like creative source for us because I think like that gave us like ideas we'd see in other people's campaigns. It would let us explore ideas on our own, and I think it just like it had a wit sharpening ability to us where it exposed us to more ideas and made us think on our feet more.
Agreed.
And I appreciate that.
It allows other people to express complicated ideas that they have in a place that does not have consequences. And that is a wonderful thing about role playing. Um, it allows you to gain an understanding of the way other people think that is hard to achieve in any other context. Um, because expressing those kinds of complicated ideas can make a person really vulnerable. But when it is through the veneer of your horny elf paladin, uh, it becomes easier, and that's a really meaningful thing. Come watch the Scruffy Ruffians; we're fun. I got another pretty easy one here for you. You want it?
Yes, I
All right,
do.
here we go. You ready? Boop, boop. Run at least 10 con events. Been trying to get this one done for 3 years.
It's been tough. It's been very tough.
Ah! I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this year.
Well, it requires more than one convention because I
It
don't think
does.
even with you doing nothing but your own events at our favorite convention to go to, which I'm not going to be able to go to this year, but
I've actually been
um,
thinking about just saying this out loud. The con we keep referencing is the University of Buffalo Convention, and I, Tom Silver, will be running events there. If you want to stop by and play Nerdy Jeopardy, you can. Only if you would have been there otherwise, okay? Don't damn travel across the country to go to UBCon. But if you're there anyway, come say hi.
if you're there anyways, or it's not inconvenient for you to go there, like it was the first you're hearing about it, but it's like shit. I live 45 minutes away. Do it.
Eh,
Uh,
like if you're
you know,
if you're in Rochester or even dang Toronto, come hang out. Who gives a shit? Come on.
exactly.
I
I should
can't.
find a
I won't be
affiliate
able to
area.
hang out with internet nerds the whole time. But like, if you stop by the event, like, just like, come on, it'll be fun.
If you want to stop by Nerdy Jeopardy and play, and then chat with Tom afterwards before he has to run to his next event,
Yeah,
and go about and just have a fun time at the convention, you can do it.
yeah.
And what was I gonna say?
I have prizes.
And since that presumably means you have to do more than one convention, maybe when I have a little more free time in the summer, we could find something in the Philly area to have the both of us go to.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
I don't know how many. I don't know how
Yeah.
many it's usually the mid-sized conventions that have people running events at them. So that's not especially common at like the big ones, but
Yeah.
I'll poke around. I'll see.
Which, by the way, is a drawback of the big conventions. A significant drawback.
I prefer mid-sized
Me
conventions
too.
where people are like doing like fun things.
And you tell
Uh,
me to breathe easy for a while. I hope you guys have been enjoying the music, because I can't edit it out.
I forget that's going to be in there
Oh, yeah.
sometimes.
Oh yeah, because I think that Discord has been filtering it out, but OBS definitely has not.
Yeah. It's just we have background music for this one that we
Yep.
did not pay for.
Yep. And do not intend to.
Okay, I get my last shit.
Okay.
Let me scroll back up because I was looking at people's scores. Oh, we still have to score each other. That's gonna be fun.
We do.
Number 11 is another what you could call a double. Create a full album of high quality original songs and an album of high quality covers. So you can just put create another album plus cover album. I would say is the shortest way to write it.
What do you think? What do you think of create full albums of songs and covers?
create full albums of I guess like songs and covers because of the originals and covers. But
Originals. Oh
uh,
no! Create
create
create create albums of songs and covers. We know what you mean.
create albums of originals and covers. Yes, that's a
Is
good.
that fair? Is that fine?
That's fine by me.
Okay.
So, seeing how long I've tortured myself with this one album, trying to get it just perfect, I want to make another one and not torture myself and just say this one's good enough. Uh, I'm gonna make it a little less. I don't know. This other like I'll talk a little bit about the first album. It's very ambitious. It has a story behind it. There's a second vocalist because it's about two different characters. There's a story that continues throughout every single song. That's like it's basically a concept album. I'm doing everything to fine tune the story to be as beautiful and melancholy as it possibly can be, and I don't want to do that again. I have some rough ideas for other albums that still have like a little bit of a story throughout, still have like a strong album feel to it, might even be a little concepty, but don't require me to painstakingly record like the best vocals I could possibly give, and then have a friend do the same thing, and then also, uh, uh, just bust my ass over it. I want to make an album that's really good and I can be done within 6 months. And
I like it.
I've always thought it'd be neat if I had I have a channel that some of you may have found because I do literally the opposite of hiding it, but I just don't mention it. Where I put meme mashups and remixes and stuff like that. Uh, I thought it'd be neat if maybe on that channel I would release a album of like remixes and covers in the style of the album I just released. So like this first album I'm gonna release this year is very like jazzy and lo-fi, and like there's a bunch of songs that sound really cool in that style. And then I'm thinking of doing a like dark synthwave thing for my other album, and it'd be neat if I took like a bunch of 80s pop songs and did them that way. Uh, and that is just sounds fun to me. So that's what I'm gonna do.
I love this
Ideally,
idea. I think this is a phenomenal idea.
excellent. And here's the easy. Well, I mean, maybe it's not the easiest one, but here's another fun one, I guess. Which is run a Paradox mega campaign and make either a video series or alternate history story about the results. I would just say run a Paradox mega campaign for that. A mega campaign is when you and a bunch of friends play Paradox games using the feature that allows you to take a save from one game and continue it in another. So you can take like a Crusader Kings game, move it into your Europa Universalis. You can using a fan made. Actually, I think I might work out. There's another Victoria game that I still haven't played yet, but you can take Europa Universalis into Victoria, and then you can take Victoria into Hearts of Iron 4. And with mods, like I'm planning, you can go all the way from the fall of Rome to the beginning of the Cold War, and technically even further, with one alternate history, creating an entirely unique world that does not look like ours at all, with friends. Uh, and I've always thought about doing that and never have. And a lot of my friends have thought about doing this and never have. And if I make it a resolution, we'll do it.
I find this extremely interesting.
And I want to document it in some capacity, so we'll either record a video about it or I will create a short story that exists in this world at one of the critical moments we create, and I'll publish like maps and stuff like that, and like really like make the world believable. Maybe we'll have a massive World War II or something like that. Uh, and then you'll get to see this completely foreign world still painted on the world we recognize. Like there'll be a Europe, there'll be an Africa, there'll be all the continents you know and love. But the people living there will be very, very, very different, and the conflicts they fight will be very different as well.
All the continents you know and love is such a funny sentence. All right. Zach, you ready for my last one?
I'm ready for your last one.
I've saved the worst for last.
Oh boy.
Ugh. You really gonna put this on the record, Tom? Yeah, well, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Nothing bad ever happens at 3 o'clock in the morning. Start a Patreon.
Oh my god.
Fuck off. This doesn't mean yes. I will sack the points if I don't feel that the time is right. However, as I say, even if these things do not pan out, I think it is worth thinking about, right? And this,
It's worth having on your radar at all
yes,
times.
and
Yes.
this makes sure that it is never far from my brain. This channel is such a strange thing. Not this channel strictly, but the interesting nerd club is such a strange thing.
There are
that-
people who are subscribed to this channel based on like us just mentioning it. We never even posted, I believe, the Jurassic Park video in the Discord server. We just said it was out and you could find it, and people found it, and we're excited to find it. And there are people watching this video. Guaranteed, there are people watching. There's comments on this video already. Before that,
can't possibly be wrong.
yeah. If people want us to have a Patreon, we should look into that. I agree.
Now, I have given sort of some... Because this doesn't feel like work to me. And that's a wonderful thing.
Yes.
And I don't want to get into a situation where it starts to feel like work to me. I really like it. I like the people that are here. They're really good and really interesting people. And
Yes.
and every single one of them is a real human that I really like.
Yes.
This is one of the most rewarding things that I have done in recent memory. Like starting to hang out with RIG and Captain Time and Jake Abe and Mira and Andy Sketcher and all these fucking nerds who all have interesting and wonderful perspectives and hilarious things that they express with every waking breath is
It's
a
brought me
marvelous
joy.
thing,
This-
especially as Taylor Swift is swelling in the background to emphasize my point how excellent this channel is. I am apprehensive, Zach. Zach, I am apprehensive about the
to turn it into work.
about the possibility of turning it into something transactional. That frightens me. The idea of that frightens me. But
I was thinking about that topic. If I can interrupt,
please.
I agree. Like, you guys don't know the amount of time I've spent with other like the people in this like little Song of Ice and Fire bubble that we're in, just shooting the shit back here in the like secret back room of our server. You don't know how much time we have just like collectively like sent like little bits of like what we're working on back and forth. You don't know like how much fun we have had that isn't on camera, and we have fun every time we are on camera. And I agree.
Like,
I never want to feel like work.
Dude,
But-
every fucking theory that gets sent in, we have a theory from Michael Talks About Stuff that's awesome. We have not less than 3 theories from Zelazor that are fucking batshit. They're amazing. It's incredible. The fucking like the Guard Extremes are some of the highlights of last year because of Mandy's phenomenal drawing and Jake Abe riffing. It's extraordinary. Like Rage Unicorn on the YouTube videos posts like 8 paragraph and I read every single one of them. They're incredible. They're extraordinary. These humans are extraordinary, Zach.
Whenever we have a nerd poll, I like check in on the results and watch them come in, and I actually pretty much know all of them before the video starts because it's too amusing to me. It's too amusing. I have so many secret Targaryen submissions that I can't tell you, but I want to. Some of them are great, some of them are batshit, and most of them are batshit. But like, God, do they all make me happy?
Like the last
Uh,
video that we just recorded, it was you, me, Mira, and Jackson doing some truly insane nonsense for like an hour and 15
we
minutes.
had to delay the start of this video because you could not recover from how hard you laughed.
I have laughed till I cried on more than one occasion. Uh, but I think that this is something that is worth thinking about. It's something worth talking about. Um, because I like this place and I like these people. I like these wonderful, wonderful people. And I'm gonna pull back the veneer here a little bit. Zach, this doesn't feel what's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't feel parasocial to me. It doesn't. It really doesn't. There's wonderful people in the Discord. There's like 150 motherfuckers in there, and every single one of them is funny. And I
Well,
don't,
and
I
it's
don't, I
also
don't feel like I don't feel separate from them. You know, I feel
no.
like one of them when we're riffing together.
Well, and I think we have some humility about this when we realize, like,
Yeah,
we're like 1,000, we're at the 1,100 subscribers on the main channel, but at the same time, that's not like that's a whole lot if you're all in the same like
yeah.
stadium or whatever, arena or whatever. Actually,
That's
it's not that
so
many
close to
stadiums,
zero people.
but like it's also like you as the person watching this aren't really much different from us in
Yeah.
terms of uh, relating to the average schmuck, of which I am. I would like to think I'm an above average schmuck, but like and a lot of y'all, like a lot of people, just here started making a Song of Ice and Fire videos, and they were good and got traction. And that's
Excuse me, I would like to note that I am a hollow legendary schmuck. I am a mythic rare schmuck. Excuse me.
so I'm gonna steal a quote from a friend of mine here. Schmar also is my father. Call me schmuck. Uh, but yeah, I like if any one of you in the comments decides that you're going to make your own videos, we would just be like, hey, awesome, promote the hell out of your videos.
Yeah,
And it just feels like we're all just people who like the same things, who
yeah.
talk about the same things. And it doesn't feel like any of you are like, I don't feel like a Logan Paul sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
Or like, who's another YouTuber I don't feel bad naming in there for shit. It doesn't feel like a Keemstar thing either. It doesn't feel like a
Yeah, this does not feel like a fucking Shane Dawson situation, man.
yeah,
It
exactly.
it feels awesome. It's so cool that it like kind of like I'm getting a little emotional thinking about it. That we have all these wonderful humans to just talk to anytime. It's incredible.
Yes.
And like that's the idea, right? The idea is to give nerds a space to talk about things that they find exciting without fear of other people telling them that they can't or shouldn't.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that as we are fast approaching the 1 year anniversary of this channel, I think that we have succeeded in that endeavor. But it is hard to do that consistently. And if we had a source of income, we would be able to do it more and more consistently. And that is really worth thinking about over the course of this next year. As we are approaching the 1 year anniversary of the channel, that is worth considering. I guess that's the end of the sentence.
It's tough to like. I'm trying to phrase this the right way. Like, it's tough to think that this is like work, but that I'm not sure if that's because I don't want it to be, and it's just fun to record this and do this when we can, and like any money we make is just sort of incidental, or if it's because I have to fit this in the same schedule as my regular ass more than 40-hour a week job that I have, which like I like that job in most capacities, other than the burnout being a real thing that happens.
but like the biggest problem I have with this recording session right now is I know when my alarm goes off in the morning.
And if there is a world, if there is a fanciful world where we are able to do this and not need to sacrifice the time that we're doing this so that we can go and fucking like get money to eat, that would be kind of cool, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, if this covered our expenses for the most part, and like everything else was, this was the main draw, and the rest of the work we did was the side gig.
I don't know.
And we'd probably have a blast. And we've talked about like, is that sustainable? But like, as long as people keep emailing in theories and we keep like finding new things to
Yeah,
re-list,
we've been doing this for a year. Where I don't know how many theories we have at this point, but like the well is not running dry. I have another 6.
that's yeah, correct. And look, we'll get wins eventually, right?
Yeah.
There might be a point where it gets a little sketchy if George R. R. Martin's like, well, we need I might have out the Winds of Winter in 2027. It's like, yeah, or 2025 and 2026, we're gonna be getting deep in the tinfoil.
Yeah.
But I think we will avoid that horrible future and get wins in a couple of years, and then like I think we've got plenty of material to make theories off of. You know, I hope.
It's I don't know, man. It is something that I have to think about. As an aside, we were talking about it a little while ago. If you are a nerd and you are thinking about making like nerdy YouTube videos, you should like do it, and then we'll like post it in recommendations, and then we just like talk about it, and that sounds like fun.
It does. It sounds like a blast.
Oh my god. My god, I like what we do. It's very fun. Now, before I start to tear up from somewhere between emotional resonance and laughter at the thought of the newest Gartic streams, let us progress to points.
Let's progress to points. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. How about we do? Can we do it like this? Is this? No, probably not. We're gonna have to do it this way. Boop. Please become maybe 10-point font.
2 points. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'll do. All right, Zach.
Let me rank you first.
Yeah, I say. We can play this fast and loose. I say, pick the one of mine that you are most confident. You don't have to do it in order. Just pick one of mine that you're most confident in your point total.
I'm gonna give you 1,000 for Plunder a Sunken Ship, because not only is it gonna be difficult to pull it off completely, it will be awesome, and you'll probably record a video.
Hang on, let me see. How about one of these? Does that look good?
Yeah.
Maybe we make it a little bit bigger. Well, yeah, there we go. That'll do. Okay. All right. Now I will give one of yours that I am confident in. Let's see. I gotta give you 1,000 for end the year below 200 pounds. Not because I think that it is like exceedingly difficult, but because it is something that something that will move you toward a self that you're more comfortable with, and it's tough for sure.
It's not easy, but it's also a huge benefit to me, which is a good 1,000 pointer.
Hit me with one.
I'm gonna give you 1,000 for purchase a building, because that's also quite tough.
I might change the color on this. What do you think of one of these?
Oh, blue. We don't use blues enough.
Oh yeah, we don't use blues very much.
I'll give you 100. Yeah, 1,000 rather for purchase a building.
I don't know if that looks good, but it certainly looks.
Does look.
Um, let's see here. Man, you got some good ones this year, man.
Thank you. I spent a lot of time perfecting them.
I'm gonna give you 750 for perform a concert length set on bass.
Hell yeah.
Get on that side. Come on. Get up there. Get up there. There we go. Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna do a weird one. 550 for get another tattoo.
This is reasonable. This is not terribly hard. But it requires a day, a decent amount of money, and a reasonable pain tolerance.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna mirror that and use it as a springboard. I'm gonna say 650 for paint my Warhammer minis.
I like it. I like it.
More impressive than get a tattoo, but not like that much more impressive.
Yes. And I don't have to scout out the expert painter like you have to scout out the expert.
I'm very picky.
Yes. I am the only person who will be painting them, and my painting will be adequate. I'm gonna give you 900 for eating restaurants live fewer than 24 times.
Oh, come on. Give me a 950 for it.
I'll do 925. That's all you're getting.
Okay. It's so hard. That
Yeah,
shit was impossible. I'll take it.
it was possible until a certain time of year hit.
So here's the trouble. This, okay. Yeah, I gotta do it this way, right? I'm going to give you. I'm gonna give you 1,000 for this, for releasing an
wow.
original album. I got it because it is such a it's hard as shit, right? And it
Yeah.
is such a meaningful thing both for you personally and for you professionally.
Thank you. Yeah, and I want there to be physical distribution and like some amount of advertisement, so I'm gonna have to cough up some dough for that. But I want people to hear my music. I'm ready for everybody to say it sucks. Like if that's the conclusion, I'm ready to hear it. But I don't think it does, and I want to take that risk. I want to put it out there. Let's see. I'm gonna give you 600 for published 75 videos.
Reasonable.
It's a little more than a tattoo. In theory, you should be able to accomplish it, but
Yeah.
like keeping it going means keeping this channel and the main channel going, and that brings me joy. So even if it's not especially difficult, it's still very admirable.
Zach, I'm giving you 1,100. I'm giving you 1,100 for create albums of originals and covers
Wow.
because it is this, but harder.
Those were, yeah, because I probably will want to distribute that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll release that album this year just to not like cloud
know.
it, but I'll have it ready to go.
That one's 1,100 for the same reason. You need to do exactly as much work for this one as you do for this one, plus the same thing again.
Yes, that's fair. Plus, I haven't made a single song for that album yet. The release original album still needs like the final tweaks and edits and vocals added, and then a release. But I want that album to be release ready and in the tube, like worst case scenario, by the time we check in at the beginning of next year. I think that's actually what I'll do. That'd be a fun thing, right? I drop the album on the day we do the resolution check-in.
I love that. All right, Zach, what do we think here?
I'm going to give you 900 for a completed 10K.
For complete a screenplay?
10K.
Oh, for completed 10K.
Yes.
All right, I like it. No, that's too high.
Then I'll give you 850.
That's fair. That's kind of high. Because if this was my first 10K, I would say 900 is totally reasonable. But like, it's it is not going to be as difficult as not eating at a restaurant, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
I am going to give you. I'm gonna give you 600 for visit 20 graves.
All right,
Is that fair?
that's totally. Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's
It doesn't require me to scuba dive to any of them.
strictly speaking, it is easy to achieve. I think that you will end up taking the tougher route, and if you do end up taking the tougher right, like there might be bonus points in it for you if you visit some particularly interesting or far-flung graves.
Yeah, and that way I can still aim for the easier route and just hope if I do the tougher one, I can get the
Yeah,
bonus point. Like I said.
yeah. All right.
I'm gonna give you. Let's see. I'm gonna give you. Let's do 575 for at least 10 con events.
Fair. I'm just
I
excited
think,
about that one. I just don't want to forget.
I think that's probably 2.5 conventions worth of con events for you. But I mean, I think you could probably swing 5 at UBCon and then do 2 other cons that are smaller and have like 3 or 4 events at each of them and be fine. So that would be a lot of fun and totally doable. And I want to see you do it.
All right, Zach. How much is censored?
No, okay. When you've gotten this late in the video, please don't donate it. Please don't just give it to me.
Okay.
And also remember that if you do give it to me, Tom takes half of it. And this is me personally earning. The number is 200.
And that's in 1 month?
In a single month, earn 200.
Is that
After the split.
I'm gonna give you 700 points for that. I think that is an achievable goal.
Oh. All right. I think that I will give you, let's say, 700 for start a Patreon. Because I know that if you were to do it, you would make it, so it's not just, throw money, get name and credit sort of thing. We would try and like really engage the community and make give them more bang for their buck, basically.
I really thought you were gonna do some gamesmanship on that. I thought you were gonna give me like 1,800 for that one.
No. I think totally fair to not want to start one if you don't think we're ready for it. But I think that if you do put one together, it will be like something that people will really want to be a part of.
And of course, like just to pull the curtain back a little bit, every single decision we make for this channel is a joint decision.
Yep,
right?
We talk it over.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think that's a fair score for sure.
Yeah.
And oh my god, the music is so loud. Let's see. I think that this is going to be a spicy take here, Zach. You ready for this?
Or
I'm going to give you. Yeah. No. Yeah. I'm going to give you 550 points for run a Paradox Mega campaign.
yeah, I think it would be lower if I wasn't documenting it or doing something fun with it. But it's me gaming with my friends, but it's gonna lead to something neat at the end of it, and something with the audience here. Like if you all play Paradox games, you might be curious to see the end results, just because mega campaigns lead to really strange worlds.
Got some tough ones still on the board.
They do. I'm gonna give you 850 for complete one screenplay.
This motherfucker out here.
It, you didn't say
You think that is notably less impressive than Plunder a Sunken Ship.
uh it, you could have it to the point that it's like finalized, but you're like confident it needs a second pass, and that would still be by all accounts complete, right?
Fine. You're right. I didn't note anything about editing in it, so you're right.
Yep.
Okay.
You if you turn the first draft, that's complete. But screenplays are tough to write. In general, the first draft of a screenplay is usually a wee bit more polished than the first draft of a novel, in my experience.
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna give you 900 points. I'm gonna give you 850 points
That's fair. Some of the
for
best music ever made is in that video game.
right, like because it is as hard as create a new album, but I would argue notably less prestigious.
Um, I mean, yes and no. Like, it's the most exposure I've ever gotten. Like that video game mod has like 300,000 people play it monthly or something like that. Which means 300,000 people listen to my music every month, which is not bad, but like it's part of a team, right? Like I'm not the only person out there making music, and some people also probably play with their volume off. So like people like one of my songs is like a meme in the community very, very, very moderately. Like people like in the Discord server just like talk about how that shit slaps and stuff like that. To the point that like uh people were begging for it to be uploaded to YouTube and then relieved when it was. But
Dude, that's
that
awesome.
but that's not as big as me like putting my name out there in an album and saying this is my sound and hoping to tour someday. However, if I do get a tour for making video game music, like I'll fucking take it. I'll go around and play all my video game music live.
All right, what do we think?
I'm gonna give you you're got a lot of stuff in the 800 range. I'm gonna give you 800 for create a playable board game.
Fair, very fair.
It doesn't need to be super polished to be success by what you've got, but it does need to be existent and in board game form, which is going to require an amount of time, effort, and money.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna give you a crisp 875 for this one because it is the same, but you also need to do a game mod.
Yes, which
We did
won't
not talk
be.
about these in advance. There's a lot of lineups on our lists.
Yeah, and we have shockingly similar lists
Yeah.
this year. It's kind of crazy.
All right. We got
Let's see.
we got some spicy ones still.
I'm gonna give you a flat 500 for play tabletop RPGs on 6 occasions.
Super fair. Super fair. All right, you got two left. Write and direct a film and music video. Honestly, bro, that's a 900 for me.
Oh,
That's pretty. That's a big ticket. That's a big ticket.
you've only got one left, which is
Yeah.
publish a book, and I'm gonna have to give that 1,000 because I know how meaningful it is.
go.
It's got another edit or two that needs to happen. You've got to talk to some people, but I know how meaningful it'll be for you to have your name on the front of a book that you're holding in your hand and is published.
2 more SCPs and 2 more video essays. So something to the tune of, I don't know, 20,000 words, maybe more.
I would say something around that.
Pretty impressive.
Plus editing of the video for the video essays, but
Give me,
I enjoy such things.
give me a, well, give me an 8. Hold on, let me look at the other ones. Give me mean, it's gotta come down to taste at some point. Give me an 800.
Yeah.
Give me an 800. Not because I think it's less impressive, but because I am excited about it less than I am about your board game.
Incredibly fair.
And there
Incredibly
it is.
fair.
There's our list. Zach, you want to do a quick tally here?
Goodness of how many points we could potentially get. I'll count
Yeah.
how many points I could potentially get. You do yours.
All right. Plus.
100
This is the counting portion of the stream.
1,000
What year is it?
plus 100 plus.
Okay, I got my number. You got yours?
Almost. I have my number.
Tom is currently at 0 of 9,350.
And I am at 0 out of 9,775.
Ooh, those came real close.
They're very close.
9,000 what?
775.
Whoa. So strictly speaking, you have a slight advantage because you have a higher cap than me. But you do have harder goals than me.
Yeah, and if you don't get a goal, you don't do the points.
Yep.
You can argue for partial points at the end, but that's usually when, like, you know, that usually doesn't make the difference. Partial points almost never makes the difference. And that's something we'll discuss when we get there. Meanwhile, like, we've got these things to do, and we get points when we complete them. So we'll have the score there. We'll do check-ins, and we will update this whenever things are complete.
Yeah,
we'll probably put a green check mark over the number or something.
Yeah,
Or
we'll talk about it. We'll certainly talk about it in the Discord. If there is enough interest for this, maybe we'll make it its own channel. I don't know. And if you are thinking about doing this yourself, tell us. I love this. This is awesome. And I love nerds.
Yeah.
I love nerds who are excited about things. That's it, Zach.
That's it. I can sleep. Yay.
Yeah. All right, dude.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. And, if you want to do your own resolutions, like we said, go for it. Do it.
Yeah,
Grab some friends.
You can subscribe if you want to, I guess. I hope you enjoyed the soundtrack in the background.
Yeah. Thank you, Katy Perry.
Yeah. All right. Zach, I am excited about this upcoming year. And I will talk to you probably tomorrow.
Yep. I'll be tired, but yep.
All right. Goodbye.
Bye.